Hi everyone, welcome to STEAM Time. My name is Kathy and I'm a student volunteer here with the Monterey County Free Libraries. And for today's STEAM Time, we're going to be talking about your lungs and the respiratory system. So your lungs, you need them in order to transfer air from your environment into your bloodstream. And we do this to maintain the body's natural function and to keep it happy. Let's talk about the pathway of air. So first, air enters through your nose and it travels down your trachea. And then from the trachea, the air enters your lungs through a bunch of little tiny passageways called the bronchi. And then from those little passageways, the air finally enters the bloodstream through these tiny little things called the alveoli. And then, so physically, what's happening when you breathe in? There's this big muscle right under your lungs called the diaphragm. And when you breathe in, that diaphragm muscle pulls down and that causes pressure to decrease inside of your lungs. So that means that air flows into your lungs when there's less pressure. And when there's less pressure, that means volume is greater. So that's why your lungs expand. And then why are your lungs important? Without your lungs, you wouldn't be able to provide your heart with the oxygen it needs to function, as well as a bunch of other functions that are necessary in order to just go about your day. So a fun fact about your lungs is that one side is actually smaller than the other. It's missing a section, and that's because the smaller lung has this carved out portion of it called the cardiac notch, where your heart sits. So your heart sits right between the lungs in that little cave-in. So for today's experiment, we're going to be doing a lung model, and we're going to be doing that using a water bottle. You're going to need 2 balloons and some scissors, and that's all you're going to need. And let me show you what we're going to do with that right now. Okay, so first you want to get a water bottle that is a little bit thicker. Most water bottles are a little thinner. And that's not really going to work. This one that I have, the plastic is a little thicker. You can even use like a small empty soda bottle. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut the bottom here all around an even cut so that you can then separate these 2 pieces, and you're not going to need the bottom piece. But you do want to have this opening at the end, as well as this opening right here where the cap usually goes. With the balloons, now you're going to take the 2 balloons and you're going to want to blow both of them up just to have a little bit more give when we do the experiment. So you're going to take both of them. My dog doesn't like the balloons. He might bark. And then you're going to let the air go out. Just let it stretch and repeat the same with the second one. But with the second one, what you're going to do is you're going to cut the top part right here and leave an opening that you can stretch out. And then you're going to want to tie the end of it. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Okay. So now that we have everything ready, you have your end tied, you have this opening, and then you stretched out your other regular balloon. You're going to take the bottle and you are going to want to stick this through this end, so the tip of the balloon, and then work it right over where the cap would be. And then you're going to want to tie it around so that the balloon is covering this side, and you want to have it towards the inside. And then what you're going to do with the piece that you cut and that you tied, you're going to stretch it, but be careful so that the balloon doesn't rip, because it can sometimes. And you're going to want to cover this entire thing with that large opening, and you want to have this side out. So let me do that really quick off camera because it's a little tricky. It helps to kind of put this between your legs to hold it. because you also don't want to crush the sides in. So let me just do that real quick and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. So this is kind of what I have going on now. I stretched it out. I was really careful not to tear the balloon, but to completely have it covering the outside. Make sure it's laying flat. You don't really want any air to escape. And what this is going to do, it's going to show us that relationship between pressure and volume. So right now, I'm not doing anything to it, so nothing's happening to the balloon. The balloon is going to represent our lungs, and this is going to represent our diaphragm contracting. So when our diaphragm muscle pulls down, okay, so sometimes when we're doing experiments, things aren't exactly working how they should be. And that's fine. That's what science is all about. You're going to have to change things and maybe do a little bit more research, figure out what's happening and what you need to change. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I'll be right back once I kind of figure out how to change this up again. So I was able to figure out why this method wasn't working. And it's because we need to place this part of the balloons first and then do the top one afterwards, because what was happening is I was wrapping this first and it was creating greater pressure when I was putting this one. So let's do it this way. So just take that part off if you've already done it the way I said to do it first. And then we're just gonna do it over and put it in through the top and then wrap it once again. So now this is what you should have. And you're gonna notice that the balloon is actually like drooping instead of a little bit more blown up how it was before. So now we can do the experiment, and our diaphragm is going to go down and our balloon is going to inflate, or our lungs are going to inflate. You can see that. So pressure is decreasing, so volume inside the lungs or balloon is increasing. And then when the diaphragm and the pressure increase, volume inside the balloon decreases. So this is just a really nice way to represent that opposite relationship between pressure and volume. And this is what your lungs are doing all day, every day. Sometimes it's a little bit more shallow depending on how you're breathing, if you're exercising. I really hope you enjoyed learning about the lungs today and doing this experiment at home. Feel free to like show your friends, send the video out, show your parents how you did this. And we do have a bunch of more videos under the Monterey County Free Library's YouTube channel. There's a playlist labeled Steam Time, and we have a bunch more experiments just like this one, talking about so many cool different things. I hope to see you guys next week, and thank you so much for watching.